previous video and you learn a lot, always leave a comment if you have any questions. All right, so here is this video. What we will be doing is just parse the data that we got from our server, and we will be doing it by using the JSON decoder and the Codable protocol. But before we start, let me just make a quick recap on what we did on our previous video. Basically, we have an API class or structure servers, and then you can only access it through this singleton basically. And the reason why is we are going to make it a private initializer. Nobody will be able to create an instance of this class, of this structure. And we have our function fetch top 100 album, where you give it an endpoint of type string, and it return a completion handler. If there is a success, it return an array of album. If there is no success, it will just return a custom error that we created right here. So first thing first, it just construct a URL from the endpoint. If it succeeds, it just execute here. If it doesn't, then it return a failure of type URL failed. Then we establish connection to the server. We give it our endpoint. We got data response and error back. We check, hey, there is an error or there is no error. Yes, then return this guy right here, failure with server failed. If not, just print the data and resume. So the feed is the consumer of the API basically. And what we do here, we just switch on the result. If there is success, nothing, do nothing. If there is a failure, print the localized description of the error. Let's just get started, guys. First thing first, let me tell you again, if you like the video, find any value, just please like, share, and follow me or subscribe. Now what we want to do, and just make sure this is the JSON object that we get. So how are we gonna do it? First thing first, let's make sure we got it. Okay, let's do let JSON equal JSON serialization dot where is JSON object. Yeah, let's use this one, JSON object, and then we give it the data. Just do this basically, and this can actually fail. So what we want to do is just mark it with a try. Let's see first, is okay. Call can throw, but it's not marked with a try, and the error is not handled. So why don't we just go ahead and do that, try, and mark it with a do catch. Okay, do, and let's move this right here, and let's make sure we downcast it as an dictionary of type string and any, and cache the error. Cache that error. What do you want to do here? Just print the error for now, but we obviously going to use a completion handler and handle the error just like so. Yeah, error dot localized description. Let's go ahead and print this out. Print the JSON object. Let me silence this error because I'm not using it. Alright, let's build now and see what we got. Again, guys, we just want to make sure we have this JSON object back. I don't know what's happening. Give it 1 second. Run it again. Yeah, perfect. We got it. Okay, guys. Now, what do we need from any albums? We need to grab the artist's name, and we need to grab the thumbnail, and we need to grab the name basically. All right, so first thing first, we need to get access to the feed, right? Let me make a comment. So we get feed, and then we go where, when we get a feed, we go to results. Okay, and results is an array of bunch of yeah, bunch of objects basically. And then inside of every result type we need the artist name, and we need the artwork, and we need the name basically. So yeah, these are the three objects that we need. So let's go ahead and go back to the album. Let's make sure it's conformed to the protocol. And first thing first, we need the feed, right? So why don't we just go ahead and create a variable feed. Guys, you gotta make sure it is exactly written as the JSON object you get. And feed will be of type feed, and we will just go ahead and create the feed now. Struct feed. Make sure it is nested inside, alright? And make it of type Codable as well. And then inside of feed, this is feed right here, all the way down. All this stuff is feed. Now what do we need in feed? We need an array of results. Let's go ahead and grab the results. Var results. Again, guys, make sure it's written exactly as you have it on JSON object. It will be of type result. So we need an array of it. Okay. Now let's go ahead and create the structure for it. Structure result. Confirm of type Codable. And what do we need inside? So we need the artist name, or artist name, again string, and we need the artwork, which is the thumbnail of the photo, or let's type string. What else do we need? We need the name. Okay, var name. Type string. Okay, now what we need to do is just come back here. Instead of using the JSON decoder, let's just go ahead and comment this out for now, and let's remove this commented line. Instead of using the JSON serialization, let's just go ahead and use the JSON decoder. Let decoder equal JSON decoder. Okay, now we need to access this decoder, and we need to decode it. What are we going to decode? The album, right? Album.self. From what? From the data that we just unwrapped safely here. This can fail as well, so we mark it with a try. We need to save it somewhere. Let's say that albums equal that. Let's go ahead and print our albums and see what we have so far. Alright guys, run this. If it works, I'm gonna be really happy. Yeah guys, it worked. You see, first album, second album, third album. Yeah guys, I'm very happy now. Now what do we want to do? Let's get rid of these comment lines. We need to okay guys, cool. So let's just get rid of this let error and just cache. And instead of calling these albums, let's go ahead and call it decoded data, decoded albums. All right, now instead of printing the album, what we need to do is just loop through every albums and construct a new album from it. So how we gonna do it? Let's go do decoded albums. That we get access to the feed. Now we go inside of the results, which is an array of type result. Now we do for each. Okay, click enter, and this is of type album. So what we need to do is in every album we need to grab the name, the thumbnail, and the name of the artist. Let artist name equal album. We get the artist name, the thumbnail equal album. That work, and we need to grab the name as well. Okay, now what do we do with these three guys? We need to put it inside of an album. Now let's go ahead and create a new model. New, let's call it album model. Okay, so struct album model, and then we need three properties. Let name be of type string, let thumbnail be of type string, let artist name be of type string as well. Let artist name be of type string. Okay, go ahead and click Command S to save it. Come back to service. Now we need to let album model equal album model, and we construct it with the three object, with the three properties we just created. Let's paste this one, thumbnail, right? Plug it here, and then the name. Actually, the name is supposed to go here, and the artist name is supposed to go here. Okay, now we have the album. It's just one album. Okay, we need to append this album inside of an array of albums. Let's go ahead and create it here. If let data equal data, just below it, go ahead and create let albums be of type array of album model. Initially it's empty, so let's go ahead and make this one variable because it's empty, and then we will append stuff in there. Say albums that append. Okay, it's not running correctly. New element, we append the album model. Once we're done, let's just go ahead and print it out and see what's going to happen. Okay guys, let's print it out. Perfect guys, perfect, it's working. Now what we need to do is whenever it works, we want to complete with this array of album model that we just created. But look here, we said we will be returning an array of type album, but it's actually album model. Okay, once we're done, let's go ahead and do the completion handler here. That's success. And what are we returning again? Array of albums. Now let's go to the consumer of this API, which is feed. Let albums. Now let's print this album. perfect. Let's see if it's going to work now. I hope these guys, the feed is going to receive the array of album. Okay, good job. So let me just do a quick recap of what we did. So basically, we just have a decoder of type JSON decoder, and then we'll, since it's going to fail, we mark it with a try, and then we put it inside of a do, and then a catch block. And if there is an error, we do a completion block of type failure, and then we return the parsing fail, which we created here, another case, and then we have fail parsing data as a description of the error type. But let's say there is no error. What do? If there is no error, we take the album that we just decoded, and then we get access to inside of the feed, then we get access inside of the results, which is an array. And then for each of them, we have to grab the artist name, we grab the thumbnail, and we grab the name, and then we construct an album model with it, and we feed those three properties that we grabbed, and then this album, we take it, we append it into an array of album that we created just below the data. Okay, and if when we finish, we want to do a completion with a success, and then we pass the albums that we created. And again, if you want to take a look at what our album model look like, it's just these three properties, and the structure, the codable structure that help us organize our JSON is just this. Alright guys, thank you very much for sticking around. Again, if you find any value of what I taught you, please just share and like, or subscribe. And in the next video, what we will be doing is create a table view and populate the album inside of the table view. Thank you, and